Hello and welcome to Tangents, where we're broke. No, that's not right.
Broken.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hi. Hope everybody's having a great day here, a great week, a great lot of fun. This is the only show on the internet that discusses anything that we feel like discussing, because this is the only show on the internet. We have a captive audience because everyone is now permanently jacked into the internet because the world outside is complete garbage. I'm Andrew. I'm one of your hosts. I'm in beautiful, sunny, garbage-filled Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. Returning from the beautiful garbage land of Germany is Das Christoph. Christoph, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm very happy to be back.
How was Germany? Did you start any Berlin school jam sessions, or do anything like that, or?
I did not. I still haven't replaced my laptop, and so on this borrowed laptop, I haven't installed a lot of music software. So, but the one thing I did get was I found J.J. Selznick's Art of Sampling CD, and I got to listen to some of that.
Oh my God! Did you get it?
Yes, I did.
Can we talk off air about? I've been wanting that since 1993 when it first came out.
I've been wanting that forever.
So if we can talk afterwards.
And, I finally got it. So yeah, we'll talk about it
All right,
afterwards.
cool.
Yes.
But that's very exciting.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Excellent. Well, welcome back from across the pond and into our hearts once again. Also, thanks Tony for taking over the reins and helping us out the last couple of weeks. Tony, ironically enough, right now is in Germany.
Oh wow!
I know, right? What's with these people going?
There's more than one Tony. Which
that
one
was that was Noise Theorem. Our guest host for the past couple of weeks. And then Robin has gone back to doing a lot more teaching, sword teaching and everything like that. So she's going to be kind of switching back to special guest status as well. So if you'd like to appear on Tangents, let us know and we'll have you on. And you too can irritate the internet and get written up somewhere as being terrible because you mentioned plants and synthesizers in the same sentence. Speaking of synthesized plants, Jeff, how are you, my friend?
Adequate.
Excellent. Good to hear. Things are functioning properly?
Yeah, nothing is leaking that isn't supposed to be, I think.
Good. Your human body is holding up well. Your flesh suit is fitting well.
Yes, this meat robot seems to be performing as adequately as ever.
Excellent.
So, yeah, things have been good. I've been not in Germany. I've been here. Not specifically just in this one chair, but about the general area here. Yeah, that's about just kind of just grooving along. Had some interesting adventures with my friends at Sweetwater, so we'll see how that all nets out in the next few days.
Oh yeah, giving them money
and reaping the delightful rewards of their exceptional customer service, which is truly fantastic.
Shout out to your Sweetwater rep.
That's right. High fives to Greg.
High fives to
If
Greg.
anybody needs a Sweetwater rep, I got one to recommend.
There you go, because one will be assigned to you anyway, and they have no control over that whatsoever. Although I'd like to have Greg now as well, so maybe we can. You can
actually get the Sweetwater rep that you want.
Really? I can be like, hey, Sweetwater people.
Yeah, they can move you.
Move me to Greg, please.
I had our work account moved to Greg.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. So we need to maybe we should have Greg on here one day, and he can just advertise people, take people's orders live while the people watch. I'm gonna be real.
I would love to have Greg on because he's a delight. Also, we would have to say only nice things about synthesizer companies.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'll have to skip
that week too.
I think we would all have to skip that week.
I think you might be right.
It's just Greg. Greg here for 2 hours talking about Sweetwater. That would be a funny show.
That would be, or something. I don't know. Christoph, thanks for the raid.
You're welcome.
Always appreciated. Well, I'm glad that you were able to get your Sweetwater sweeted.
Thanks. Yeah, my water feels super sweet.
That's
these
good.
days, so
That's good. Good.
Yep.
Ew. Justin, how are you?
I'm well. I've also been talking to my sweet watery person. And
Shout out to your Sweetwater rep.
yeah, my rep is Dustin, and I've had Dustin for 13, 14 years. Super happy. No worries.
Nice.
Love Dustin. Yeah, he's actually watched the show, I think, at least once.
Oh, just once.
Maybe, I don't know.
Smart.
I can't.
He was like, this is a
Enough to
conflict of
figure it
interest.
out.
I can't watch this shit.
Ever since the court order, I just don't follow him around. But yeah, so behind is the. I took a. Okay, so it's in the news today. So we're going to discuss Behringer specifically dropping the ARC 2600 clone, but they actually dropped for all their cents.
Ah.
So, in fact, they knocked this Korg monopoly down $200 and
So
and
now you
change.
have this monopoly
So-
back there.
I still have the monopoly clone. And of all of the clones they came out with, that was the only one that really interested me ever. And I'll tell you my opinions later. But it's been a good week. It's nice. Things are good.
To be fair, I know that the drum machines also interested you as well because you drooled over those at NobCon the one year.
Oh no, I have other stuff. I just meant of their synth clones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have both the 909 and the
I
808
know.
clone. In fact, I have two versions of the 808 clone. I've got the version 1
Oh,
and the
so yeah,
version 2.
that's right. You were a beta tester, unwittingly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
job, Behringer. Cool.
I
Well,
know,
I'm
right?
glad you got yourself a new little toy. Both of you on the screen are on the bottom here because you guys are on top because y'all are selling well as far as the new singles that you both have put out and is available for pre-sale.
right.
That will be available on the 28th at ixstudios.net.
Hooray!
So that'll be exciting. Looking forward to that. So everyone should head over to ixstudios.net and pre-order Ghosttron's new single. And there's In the Future We Don't Believe, I believe it's called. And
That's right.
then also go over to Subsoma and get Low Life as well. So go get that stuff. I will. For some reason, my the bot is not working tonight. I don't even see.
Are you using
Yeah, I don't even
Streamlabs?
see it on the list here.
Yep. So, all right. So go to your
Yeah, I will.
Streamlabs page, go to your CloudBot, and push the slider and
Yeah,
turn
I
it
apparently
on.
have to go.
It turns off automatically
That's
all the time.
irritating.
It is. It does it about once a month.
That's a feature.
Yeah, that's like, did they get bought up by Microsoft or something? Thank you,
No comment.
Jeff, for being the robot. Beep boop. So I will go and turn that on real quick here.
I haven't heard the new Subsoma, so I can't speak to whether it's banger status or not. I would assume that it is, just on faith alone. I can, however, vouch for the fact that the new Ghosttron is banger. So
I can account
Yeah,
that
it's-
both of them are bangers because I
It
got
is
to hear them
great.
both. And I also got to remix one of them, so I can clearly say with.
you could remix two of them if you really wanted
Well,
to.
I was
got
only
some-
asked to do one of them.
I don't want to foist this garbage fire on anybody, but look, if you want to deal with it, it's yours to deal with. This could be your problem too.
Here, you do a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't want to do this. You do this.
But don't worry, I'll get most of the credit. Yeah. I could see why you're not like foisting that
Yeah.
on people.
I need nearly all of the credit. I can't take just most. I don't need just the majority. I need the super majority.
Well, that's why it was a B-side.
Yeah. Well, I'll upgrade you to a B side if you do a good job. Otherwise, it's like a C or a D side.
Oh, thanks.
Yo. There's a lot of puns going on
Right.
today. I could bring out some bad jokes. Yeah, the photosynthesis stuff was a good conversation. Get it? Photosynthesis? You had to be part of the beginning of that conversation to get it. But you're probably happy you
Yeah.
weren't.
Definitely not. All right, there we go. So apparently I've turned on Streamlabs, and now it's not showing up still. Cool. All right, fuck it, whatever. Ran out of patience. I'll just have to jump on every 5 minutes. Remind you to buy your music. Consume. Enjoy. So
Yeah.
I literally sprayed a half a can of fucking contact cleaner into this thing. And it works now.
Sell it
I
immediately.
know.
Sell it right away.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. While it still works.
I thought you were just gonna kill insects with it from 10 feet away, but you can do that.
Well,
too.
Both.
I mean, it's the proper weight for insect destruction, even without the swimming in
I meant with between-
liquids.
I mean, between the high-pitched noises and the undoubted chemicals from the
Right.
cleaner, I thought you could.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Double
It was a
whammy.
lot. It was like the Q-tips and just mashing it in there over and over again. I like how well built this thing is. I like that the bottom of it's starting to like bow and stuff like that. I like that the little screw things on the bottom barely do anything anymore. I mean, this is really well worth the $600 that you can spend on one of these puppies.
Honestly, Andrew, you shouldn't be talking about this on the internet when you're trying to sell it. You should talk about this after you've sold it. This is the wrong time to talk about it.
Works great.
It's
See,
the
this is
best.
Jeff showing off his marketing skills. He's a professional.
Well, people know about my opinions on teenage engineering gear. And part of the reason why my opinions on teenage engineering gear is so clouded is because of this thing.
It's only because you've used it.
Yes.
You have a great opinion of it if you've never used it. If you,
You
just,
know,
like,
the
consumed it
OP1
for
was
seconds.
fun. I had an OP1 and it was enjoyable. But I wasn't really using it very much. And that's why I got rid of it. And plus, when I got rid of it, I got to sell it for almost 1.5 times what I paid for it, because that was when they decided they were taking a break from making it, and everyone panicked for whatever reason.
The OP1 is a great $200 synth that costs $2,000.
Yes,
Nice.
absolutely. Especially now, because I mean, I bought the thing for like $600, that's about the most I would pay for an OP1, and I sold it for almost like twice that.
Yeah.
It's a good deal.
Yeah, and I like it. Literally, I put it up, and like 10 minutes later, someone bought it. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Wild.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like the fastest thing I've ever sold, and I still don't understand quite why. It's fun, but it's not that much fun.
Hey, all to the run, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, if I sat there and dedicated like Jeremy Blake kind of like time to the thing, then it might have been one thing, but I just got bored with it so quickly.
And I mean, to be fair, he was dumping everything into Ableton.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's really the secret, because it's kind of unworkable the way it is.
No, you're absolutely right, and I completely agree. The tape recorder function on it just makes me want to punch babies.
It's just not meant for professionals, but it's got professional
Oh, yeah.
pricing. Yeah. And at professional pricing, I want professional gears. I want professional gear. I don't want to have to hook it up to a Lego Mindstrom. You know, none of my synthesizers have rubber bands. And there's a reason.
Oh, come on now. You've used rubber bands to control more than one knob simultaneously. Admit it.
Just one knob.
Daddy.
And that's why Sweetwater won't be up.
Fair enough. We are definitely not family friendly like Sweetwater kind of is.
Oh, I did forget one shout
Yes.
out. I'd like to shout out to Sin City, specifically James, who does the tech and repair stuff, because this week the Juno 106 came home and it is in amazing condition. It is in like 1984 condition. How long it'll last like that?
Like
who can
19,
tell,
like
but-
as in like it's kind of dilapidated and has things that say like war is peace, ignorance is strength, freedom is slavery all over it, or
no, like
okay.
no, like the year
Oh, okay.
made.
I wasn't sure if we were going Orwellian on that. Like,
It's
Yeah, no-
wearing a red
yeah,
sash.
it's part of the
Yeah,
anti-sex
no-
league. I don't.
Yeah, you got to watch it with these things because they do
Oh
have
my
a
god!
meaning.
So does
No.
our so like. How many literary references? Maybe we should just start doing literary references instead of synthesizer news.
I think that would be extremely highbrow and pretentious, and
I agree.
For it.
I need a smaller cup of tea than this though, so I can pinky out better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, shout out to Synth City. My Nymphus that I bought at KnobCon had a fucked up knob on it, and they just, no questions asked, they're just like, just send it back to us, and they sent me a new one within like 2 days. So that was cool
Nice.
of them.
Yeah, Andrew is a manager over there. He's also in the band New Canyons, which played at Cold Waves.
Oh, okay.
And was really pretty amazing.
Is that the very tall gothy dude?
Yeah. You mean in that band, or who works?
In general?
Oh no, you're thinking. Oh, you're talking
Yeah.
about Synth City. You mean this year or in years past? In years past, that guy AJ.
Yeah, AJ.
used to-
That's what I was
I don't know
thinking
if Rachel works there anymore. Yeah, he used to
Yeah.
have the mohawk. The last time I saw him, he didn't have the mohawk. I haven't been to Synth City because of the pandemic, but I've started going back recently, and I
didn't see him at the
yeah.
booth, but I think I saw him walking around at KnobCon.
Yeah, they're a great shop. They're actually vintage rock and roll vintage. Just a guitar store in the front and then Sin City in the
It's
back.
like a
But
mullet.
over the last year, they've acquired so much. Like, yeah, they have like a Triumph motorcycle on the front window. It's pretty cool, actually. But the whole place is now littered with amazing used synth
That's
gear.
cool.
So like, and their techs have been revamping it. Yeah, they had a Moog Source I'm dueling over. They have a Jupiter 6. They have.
Nice.
Anyway, it's not a good place to be with my wallet.
No doubt. Hey, Synth Lab, welcome. We were just discussing people and money and how we want to spend it and stuff. So we haven't even really, gotten past the whole greetings thing. So greetings. So, news?
Yes.
News.
There's some very interesting.
So at
news.
first I thought it was going to be kind of slow, but then all of a sudden we got a whole bunch more stories in. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it really like smoothly ramped up to a peak.
To a exciting edge of your seat moment. This is like a monster truck rally.
ramped up like a saw
Okay.
wave.
Or maybe even like a sine wave.
More like a sine wave, I think. Because this is a sine,
Well, yeah, like on the ocean.
right? Or like a sine wave, like what Cherry Audio has introduced, which is sines. Yes, our good friends at Cherry Audio, who still refuse to sponsor us because we shit talk so many other people that they are scared of us. That's not really.
Also, that we don't know anybody
Yeah, that's
there.
like a real reason. Has released this.
Yeah, we
We
should.
should. We really need to like reach out to them and be like, hey, we love you. They should know us because I buy
Yes,
all their
we
shit.
should. By we, I mean
Yeah,
you.
you in particular. You. Just you.
Not me. Someone
right.
else.
Lazy. Anyway, the signs point to this new synthesizer called Signs. This is a ridiculously polyphonic synthesizer with 4-hole voices for sine wave oscillators. But it's not just sine wave oscillators. You can actually put all different types of oscillators into this thing. This thing sounds fucking incredible, and it's $39 right now, American, which means in Europe it's like $80,000 because the dollar, for whatever reason, is really strong over there.
Weird. I don't know what reason that could be right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all like the world's a weird place, and this is why we should just play synthesizers all the time.
The short reason is that inflation went faster in Europe than it
Yeah.
did in the
Oh, I
US.
know.
And also because things are collapsing rapidly everywhere, but slightly less rapidly here.
Yes.
Right now.
Well, and Europe is facing a much more serious energy crisis.
Yes.
So that has a ripple
yeah.
effect.
Yeah.
But at any rate, our good friends at Cherry Audio, which I believe is a European company as well, so we should give them money to help their economy, has put out this insanely knobby virtual synthesizer. This thing is like extreme skeuomorphism.
It's knobs on
It's
knobs on
so my
knobs.
god, I think like Forstall is sitting there masturbating in the corner about how skeuomorphic this thing is. That's the guy who did the skeuomorphism in iOS back in the day, by the way, Scott Forstall. Anyway,
There's literally no menu
No.
diving. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
this
This is a very impressive synth
Mm-hmm.
to me. I've wanted to make a big knob controller for DX7 style synthesis because FM synthesis just lends itself. Do you want to have a ton of knobs that you can access at the same
Mm-hmm.
time? And that's exactly why this thing is just covered with knobs. And although it's not exclusively an FM synth, that's so much of its power.
Mhm.
And so it's fantastic.
Right.
This is a very exciting synthesizer. I'm really happy that, I think Cherry Audio, which is mostly known for putting out synthesizer emulations, has made this original synth, and it sounds fantastic, and it has so many good ideas in it.
It's fun to play.
And it's a really good control.
It's kind of fun to play, which I don't generally say that about soft synths, because usually soft synths are just like, I'm going to turn my mouse over here, but I have enough controllers that I can assign some of the knobs, at least the ones that I would probably play with the most. And it's fun, and it sounds great.
It's crazy. It works at a very low level. I mean, you said it does multiple waves, and it's true, kind of. But what's weird about it is it's using sine waves to fold over on themselves to create the other waves, which, while you still achieve that wave, it has a weird wobbliness to it, or uncertainty. I don't know how else to explain it. And then if you mix in this sort of additive stuff, which is always blows my mind. The fact that they can do both frequency and phase modulation is, I mean, that's really powerful and inventive, and it's kind of like what we should have had all along, was like a Kawai K5 mixed with the DX7. We should have always had that.
And I think the reason we did is because of patent issues, which are now lapsed. So, it's an amazing synth. It's got so many brilliant ideas. It has elements of West Coast and East Coast synthesis into it. Multiple filters, so much modulation. And $39 is just an amazing bargain. It's FM and analog. It's got unison detune. It's got sub oscillators on top of your standard 4 oscillators, and when you add the sub oscillators, don't get modulated the way the other oscillators do. So it's going to produce a lot of bass. It's just such an impressive synth.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah. Love that 30-minute Tim Schubert video, by the way. I think everybody knows that I have an ASMR synth addiction to Tim Schubert. And, it's a good watch.
The thing is, if anybody else made this synth, it would be a $300 synth.
Well, that's the thing, is I kind of feel like they're disruptive
They are.
in the market in a weird way.
I mean,
because
Cherry Auto is like the punk rock of software synth.
That's the best way to put it. Yeah. They're like, they put out these really quality things, and they're not asking for a lot, even when it's not on sale. It's still like, it's normally like $60,
$59.
Yeah.
$100. You compare that to a company that I do like, but I do have criticisms of, which like Arturia, or Native Instruments. You're not walking away with anything for less than $100.
Right.
So maybe in a sale, maybe. Kitty. Aw.
Yeah, sorry, he's acting up. I gotta hold him for a minute.
Oh, wow. What kind of cat is that?
This is a Sphinx cat.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's a black Sphinx, and that's the way to go with these guys.
Aw.
Because the pink ones, that look skin colored, they look all
They look
weird.
like old men.
All right, down he goes.
That's enough. Enough.
Vocal like the Siamese kind of, because my godmother had like 3 Siamese cats, and
Yeah, I've had 2. I wouldn't recommend it. They look really good, but they're loud.
Yeah.
you like waking up at 4 a.m. and getting screeched at by
I don't
a
need
high-pitched foghorn.
I don't need a fucking Siamese cat for that. I have Jack's hole, and that fucker wakes me up at 4 a.m.
And the downside of the Sphinx cat is because they have no fur, they eat a lot more. So you wind up, they wake you up every night to feed them.
Oh, wow.
Again, he eats like 5 times a day, 6 times a day.
Wow. I'm jelly.
You would be too if you ate
so
5 times a
my
day.
house is normally cat free, and so my house is not cat safe at all. So he's just tearing everything down. He's already torn this curtain down twice.
Cool.
And all this lighting, and he was getting ready to knock everything off the desk. That's why I had to pick him up again.
Wow.
You should get him an ARP 2600 clone to play with.
I think that sounds a good idea, because he might be
a great idea.
he might be not as apt to doing it. And you're in luck right now, my friend, because the ARP 2600 clones that Behringer makes are currently on sale.
That's very exciting because that's a great clone.
Indeed.
Cats love semi-modular scents. It's well known.
Right?
Yeah.
So, as people know or may not know, our bitter enemies over at Behringer like to clone synthesizers. And one of the things they did was they cloned the ARP 2600 not once, not twice, but 3 different ways.
And that's wise.
Indeed.
Well, yeah, I mean, they modeled the
Yes.
different versions, and because I looked at this a while ago, and one of them has, I think the orange one has the
Yes.
DSP effects. For
And I think the
Yeah,
blue
yeah.
one has
Yeah.
has the spring reverb, and then the gray one has the spring reverb
Yeah.
and the light up sliders.
Yeah, the blue Marvin and the gray Meanie, I think, did have slightly different circuitry. I mean, I don't know how to believe Behringer propaganda. The person they brought in to design this was pretty legit and seemed pretty cool. So I don't know. I mean, I looked at it, and I love it, but I have nowhere to put it, and it's hugely impractical.
Yeah, you already got rid of a 2600 clone. You don't need another one.
I
The
got
Odyssey.
rid of
Yeah, sorry.
Odyssey.
Yeah.
If I had a real, and
Yeah,
that was a
that
real
was
core
core
one,
one.
right? These exactly. Yeah, if I wanted to get that game going, I would have kept it, right, for sure, totally.
Or if you need to make the R2D2 sound.
Yes. Yeah.
Just
So they're going.
Yeah, I mean, it's
So
really
the orange gray version, which
Go
is
ahead.
the classic one they call, it's going for like $500. The blue Marvin's going for a little over $600, and the gray Meanie is going for $560. So they dropped like 25 to 30% cheaper than what they were before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I mentioned earlier, it's actually a ton of the synths.
Yeah.
Behringer synths. If you go out to Sweetwater, like the Poly D is down $121. The one I picked up, which was the Monopoly clone, was $202. So yeah, I mean, there's a fire sale going on, and I guess we can speculate as to what's going on with that. Christoph, maybe you know
Oh
more
yeah,
than we
they
do.
did it because people started buying them overseas for cheaper because the dollar is strong.
Yeah.
So you could buy them. People started buying from Thomann instead of in the U.S. So to prevent people from to keep that money in America, Sweetwater
I see.
lowered their prices so that it would compete with this temporary exchange issue because it was cheaper to get it overseas.
That makes sense.
Wow.
So when the currency changes, you should get ready to say goodbye to these
Right.
sales. Or if the U.S. supply runs out,
Yeah.
which is quite possible. There is still a chip production shortage, so we have supplies of these synths, but when those supplies run out, a lot of them probably aren't currently in production. And I did notice that some of them are not on sale,
Yeah.
like the Neutron, which is the one that I want.
The DeepMind
But
also not.
I mean, to be honest, I do want all of them. But the one that I would probably get most tempted by would be
the Neutron.
But if the 2600 was cheaper, I would have one. I'm sure. I do love it. I think it's unique. I'm not even sure which one I would get, but it is a little bit costlier, and as a poor person, I can't justify it. But it has a unique sound, and the way you modulate it, it's just different. And I think it would encourage you to go different ways. And again, it's their R2D2 sound. It's also the bass sound on the thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ennio Morricone had it. And Alex Ball did a great video on the 2600 series, or on ARP itself. And they go over all the different variations that happen to the 2600. And it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know
So
who
it
else went and made a big, deep video on the 2600?
Oh?
Who was it, Andrew? Is your favorite?
Was it Mark Doty?
That's
Big
right.
time.
He does the 10.5 hour like 20 video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went as hard can be after the 2600 a while ago.
Just the thought of Mark Doty's making me hot.
Speaking of synthesizer videos, I want to give a shout out to Starsky Carr, who did a great video on the Cherry Audio signs.
Oh yeah,
So-
he did.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He did as well, yeah.
So I need to do something real quick. I'm getting a whole lot of drop frames right now, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. There's nothing running right now that would be doing that. So
It's probably the
I might
cat.
need to restart the stream here. So we'll be back in two shakes of a